What's up, guys? E-Drone here. Welcome to episode 4 of Send It Saturday. That's right, guys. Welcome into the room. Welcome, Razman FPV, Mystery D. Yes, welcome, everybody. Last week had some things happen unexpectedly in a good way. And welcome into the room, Michael McReynolds. Welcome. Had some things happen last minute that caused the live stream last week to get canceled. I said I would try to keep this going as long as I could, but inevitably we all knew that it's on a Saturday, so anything can happen, right? So how's everybody doing tonight, man? Welcome to Send It Saturday, my live stream I've been trying to do each and every Saturday, besides last week, obviously. And but it was good. It was good. We got away for a night, and it was really nice. Got to spend some time with my family, and it was some much needed time just to kind of get away for a little bit. So welcome in the Fortuner channel. Welcome in. How you doing? Yeah. So how's everybody been doing? We've got a really good stream on tonight. I've got so much in my brain that I just want to unload right now, but I'm going to try to space it out. Welcome into the room, Jessica Linzer. How you doing? We're going to talk about a lot of things, a lot of exciting things, probably some other things that might not be as exciting, but we're going to try to keep it entertaining the whole length of the stream. So it is Saturday, my Send It Saturday live stream. So what I'm trying to do, basically, guys, if this is your first time in, welcome. Please don't forget to smash the like button. Helps me out a lot. I don't know if you've come here before, and you've seen my videos. Basically, I'm trying to do more of a weekly live stream to kind of connect with my audience, you guys, on a more personal level. Do a little bit Q&A, do a little bit of hanging out, just, me and you guys. And at some time, we are going to have guests on the show. Still trying to iron out those details. But, yes, we have had a surprise guest. That's right. We had a surprise guest pop up on episode 2, I believe. Or was it episode 3? I think it was episode 2. MD95 TSI, Chris Justice had a nice little pop-up. They popped up on the stream. It was very cool. And definitely won't forget that. Hey, Gregory Lang, welcome into the chat. Mystery D, if I didn't get you already, welcome, brother. Yes, indeedy. So I'm going to take this time right now, since I just did mention my good buddy Chris Justice, MD95 TSI. Make sure you check those guys out on the Drone Network. That's every Friday night, for the most part, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you check them out. Show them some love over there. Crystal Justice as well on Wacky Wednesdays. Really great group of people. Make sure you check them out if you haven't already. So, I don't know if you've noticed, but man, I've got this swag on. This shirt right here. Oh man, I love it. It's a new TBS shirt, right? Man, I'm really digging this one. So, that was another thing I wanted to talk about in the later part of the show is the Black Friday specials, man. All the things that have been on sale. Man, I've got some really good deals. I hope you have too. This has been the time of year. Hey, welcome in, John Vampire 4997. Hey, brother, you get a chance, man. I have got the package ready. I've got it in my basement, packed up for Chuck Veed. It is ready to fly, ready to rip, ready to break, however he wants to do it. We need to meet up at some point. So get with me after the stream. Maybe hit me up tomorrow. Maybe we can meet up somewhere. Definitely want to get that over to Mr. Chuck V, because I know he is anxiously awaiting this package. For those of you who don't know, Chuck V was an entry from John over on the FPV Noob Tube. Vampire entered him in to win the Ready to Rip giveaway. Mr. Chuck V won a complete custom built by Chris MD95 TSI, TBS Source 1, 4S package. I mean, quad, goggles, transmitter, the whole 9 yards. I mean, he's got support. He hit it big. So congratulations again to Mr. Chuck V. Hey, welcome in, Drone On. Welcome in. Glad to have you in. Yeah, if you could hit that like button, that greatly helps out the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Hey, we're already getting some thumbs down. That's okay too, because guess what? Thumbs down is better than no thumbs at all, right? So, hey, we'll take it. Any bit of activity is good for me. So that's right, guys. If you're not getting thumbs down, then you're probably not doing something right. So just saying. All right. Gregory Lang, welcome in. I don't know if I already did that, but we'll do it again. Gregory Lang. Yeah, and we're going to be doing giveaways actually this month on this channel. Hey, welcome into the room, Chuck at FPV. Welcome, brother. We're going to be doing giveaways on this channel every single month on my Send It Saturday live stream. Not going to be tonight. Sorry. Oh, womp, womp, womp. I know if you guys were hoping it was going to be tonight, it's actually not going to be tonight. I want to keep the giveaways. I want to keep you guessing. So it's not going to be the same, live stream each and every month. So it's not like, oh, okay, every first of the month live stream is going to be the giveaway. It could be the first show. It could be the second show. It could be the fourth show. Keep you on your toes, right? But just keep tuned into the channel. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. And believe me, we are going to be doing a giveaway on this channel. I'm very excited about it. I will tell you that if you're watching this, the item that's going to be getting given away this month is on camera right now. You can see it. So I'll let you guess as to what that could be. But you can see it right now on this camera. So that will get your mind wandering, get you all excited about it. Definitely stay tuned to the channel, man, because I definitely... oh, is it too loud, man? Let me turn it down a little bit. Let me turn it down. We don't want to... Yeah, thanks for letting me know, Chuck. Thanks for letting me know. We don't want to make sure we blow anybody's eardrums out. So, but thanks, everybody, for all the support. Greatly appreciate it. And I'm just like hanging out with you guys, too, and talking about things and just hanging out. So, as you see, the topic of tonight is ND filters. Why? How? Why should we use ND filters, and how do we go about using these ND filters? What's the big deal? Does it make a big difference? I gotta say, man, ever since I've started using ND filters, I kind of can't stop, and I kind of can't go back to not using ND filters. So if that tells you anything, I'm a big fan of ND filters in both camera drones and FPV drones. And we're going to get into all that on the stream tonight. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about some of the settings that and some of the ND filters that you might want to use, might want to get set up, and what it does for you. And we're also going to talk about why you might not want to use ND filters in certain applications. So, no, stop hitting it. All right, I'm going to hit it again. Oh, man, Chuck, you. Say I have something specially for you, man, the sensor button. Yes, indeedy. So, Chuck, man, you finish up your business wherever you were at? All right, good. Chuck's back. I do use them. I love the motion blur. Yes, Drone On, exactly. And there is applications where you definitely want to use them, and then there's also applications where you might not want to use them. And we are going to get into that in the stream here. I got a clear one to protect the camera. Okay, well, there you go. You got some camera protection. Nothing wrong with that. I actually just posted up on my Instagram. And check out these skids from our Reverb, man. These things are awesome. Chris printed these out, MD95 TSI. Yes, he did an awesome job with these. These are made out of the PETG, so they're really durable. And then I actually was able to combine that with some of the TPU bumpers. So it adds some weight, yeah, but I'm still flying the session camera, so I can spare a little bit of weight. And yeah, these things are really cool. So make sure you check out those skids, man. I really am a big fan of those skids for FPV. Hey, welcome in, Double A. There he is. Yes, how you doing, brother? Good to have you in. Welcome. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the ND filters, and then later on we're going to talk about some other things, some little bit of drone news, and I want to talk about some of these Black Friday deals that I was able to stumble across, and I want to see if you guys did as well. So ND filters. All right, we'll start out with this bird right here. This is the Mavic Air 2, right? This is like one of my favorite camera drones I've ever owned, ever got a chance to use. And to be honest, man, I really did not use this drone a lot when I first got it because I did not have the ND filters yet. I had ordered the ND filters, actually pre-ordered the ones from Polar Pro. These are the Polar Pro Cinema Series Vivid Collection. Highly recommend these ND filters. They're polarized. And we're going to get into why that's so good. Hey, welcome into the room, Rebecca Adams. Yeah, glad to see you in here, baby. My big #1 supporter. So yeah, we're going to talk about these ND filters on the Mavic Air 2. We're also going to be talking about ND filters for FPV. So don't go nowhere. We're going to talk about for both sides of the spectrum here. But we're going to start out with the camera birds because I know a lot of you guys are into the camera birds. And yeah, so I didn't have ND filters on this drone until they came in because I had to pre-order them. It was a brand new drone. I got the drone in before the filters came in. But once the filters come in, I got to admit, man, they're really easy to put on. I know they can be a little bit intimidating sometimes because, you know, you have to mess with the gimbal and people get really, oh, I got to touch the gimbal. Oh, no, I'm going to break it. And, it, you know, they are, while they are definitely sensitive and they are a little bit fragile, if you do it correctly, it's really not that big a deal. So you could take this camera and just rotate it 90 degrees, lay the drone on its back like this, okay? And then what you can do is one hand, you can hold the gimbal steady, and then the other hand, you just twist this with just a little bit of force. Keep in mind, you're holding the gimbal straight while you're twisting this, and then I'll show you right here. The ND filter will come right off here. Let me get a good grip on. I'm trying to actually show you here on camera. I don't want to break my camera here. That wouldn't be good. But it's just a little bit of a twist, and boom, it pops right off. That easy. Don't be scared of it. The stock cover may be a little bit stiffer at first, but just take your time. You know, make sure you grab it right, and it really is not that big a deal. So put it back on. Same thing. You're just going to push and twist, and boom, it's right back into place. They really have made these really easy to take on and off without the risk of damaging your camera, and there's no additional like weight that affects the gimbal in any way. I've never had any kind of gimbal errors from using these. These are high quality materials too, guys. These are from Polar Pro. So, hey, Tommy G, welcome into the room. Yes, it is. It's a major award. It's that time of the year, my friend. But yeah, let me talk about these ND filters. So what these do is basically they're sunglasses for your camera. So they are going to darken the image, allowing you to manipulate the shutter speed to lower the shutter speed so that you get what's called motion blur. That's right. Motion blur is going to make your videos, your film look more cinematic. I know we use that word a lot, cinematic, but it really does add a whole new dynamic to your video, and it's a lot more easier on the eyes. So just keep that in mind when you talk about ND filters. We're talking about making the footage look a little bit more cinematic with motion blur. Also, we're talking about helping, especially with the polarized, we're helping reduce some of the glares that you can get off of bright surfaces. As far as decrease. That's what I said, decrease, right? Because if you darken it up, you can decrease the shutter speed. Normally, if you don't have an ND filter, your shutter speed is going to be way high. It's going to be very high, and that's what actually creates a lot of the shutter to be opening up so fast. That's what makes the image look so crystal clear, and it just doesn't look natural to the eye when you're turning and flying around. Everything just looks in focus the whole time, which is not how our eyes actually see things. If you were to, take, let's say you were to take a basketball and start dribbling the ball, your eye would not see that ball completely in focus every time it bounces. It would look like blurry, right? Well, that's what these ND filters help to do with your drone footage. They help it to add that motion blur to look more cinematic, like your eyes see. So, and there's different types. There's different stops. So this is a 16 ND16. I actually use the ND16 on the Camera Birds a lot. The ND16 is good for partly sunny to partly cloudy days. Anything that's real bright in the summer, like if you have no clouds, you want to use like ND32. But honestly, for most of my cinematography with this Mavic Air 2, I do use the ND16, and that seems to really work out really great. So basically, you're going to put this ND filter on like I showed you. Then you're not actually done yet. You're going to want to go into your settings, and you're going to want to do double the shutter speed rule for your frames per second and what you're recording, okay? Let's say, for example, all right, I'm going to take this Mavic Air 2 out, and I want to record in 4K at 30 frames per second, right? So what I'm going to do to get the most amount of motion blur, the best optimal motion blur, is I'm going to double that number, which would be 60. And that's what you're going to set your shutter speed to, 1/60. And that's going to give you that perfect cinematic blur, not too much, not too well, no, not too least amount. That's going to give you the best overall motion blur for your videos, okay? Keep in mind, that's for the Mavic Air 2. That's how I have that set up. So if I was recording in 60 frames per second, I would set that shutter to 1/120. So yeah, it's just to double the shutter speed rule. It's really not that difficult to get it set up. And then once you get that set up, you're pretty much good to go. What I really like about the Polar Pro is that because these are the Cinema Series Vivid collection, they have the polarizer already on there. The colors just out of the box, they just look really good, really dynamic without having to do a bunch of post editing. Now, keep in mind, you can still do all the post editing if you like. If you like to tweak all that yourself and add, your colors and your saturations and all that, you can definitely do that with these filters. But what I really do like about these is out of the box, pretty much off of the craft without doing any post editing, the footage actually looks really good. Can't complain about it whatsoever. So that's the ND filter for the Mavic Air 2. Now, I've been using ND filters on my Camera Birds ever since probably I had the Mavic Air original, and I've never not used them since, except there are some situations where you're not going to want to use ND filters. That's right. You're hearing it. You're like, wait a minute, what do you mean? Like, why wouldn't I want to use ND filters? Didn't you just say that, like, oh man, ND filters are awesome? Like, they just make it look more cinematic. They give the motion blur. It looks more natural to the eye. Why would I not want to use it? Good question, guys. So anybody want to throw some stuff in the chat? Maybe what's the reason that you might not want to use ND filters? Other than, you can't afford them. I mean, that's a good one. That's a good reason. If you can't afford them, well, then you might not want to use them, right? Yeah, if you can't use them, you might not want to. You can't afford them, you might not want to use them. Let's give you guys a minute to throw some questions out there. Works best with 30 frames per second, Mystery D says. Okay. Yeah, I typically always do 4K 30. There you go. Never use ND filter for night flights. That's a good reason you might not want to use one. Absolutely, Mystery D. Good answer there. You forget them. Yeah, if you don't have them, you can't use them, right? Don't have them, can't use them. That's a good one. Yeah, honestly, most of the time I do 4K 30. Sometimes I will do 4K 60, depending on what I want to do with the footage in post. So if I'm, maybe recording something that I want to speed up or slow down, then I probably would do the 4K 60 just because you don't see it as bad in the post when you start manipulating the video. But all in all, if I'm just going to get some video and I'm going to, throw it onto my editor, I'm just going to do the 4K 30 and then just do the 1/60 for the shutter speed. Effective, less noticeable at 60 frames per second. Okay. All right. That sounds good. Yep. But once again, if you are doing in 60 frames per second, you could still utilize the double the shutter speed rule and do the 1/120. So, all right. So the biggest reason that I typically would not use ND filters is for any kind of a flight where you are inspecting something. Let's just say we've got a clogged gutter up on our roof, which we do actually have a clog right now. And I want to send the drone up there, and I want to see, how bad this gutter clog is. Well, I'm probably not going to want to use ND filters, because once I get the drone up there and I start looking at the gutter and I start moving around, that's going to look blurry. So if I go to pause the footage to zoom into a certain area to check something out, it's not going to be clear, right? It's going to have that blur to it, because that's what the ND filters do. So if you're going to be doing something where you are inspecting a roof, you're inspecting gutters, you're wanting to inspect something, you want to check something out with your drone, you're going to want to make sure that you don't use those ND filters, because that's going to make it easier for you to basically to zoom in and get a very clear image of what you're looking at. That's a good one too, Chuck. Yeah, you wouldn't use them if you'd already broke them all. And we're going to be getting into ND filters with FPV here shortly, but I figured I'd go ahead and just go ahead and poke the bear and just do the DJI stuff first, But yeah, there was a time when I actually did have to take the drone up and do some gutter inspections for a customer. I do have my 107, by the way. And when I went up there and was looking at the gutters, I did not use my ND filters, because later on, I was able to go back and look at that footage. I could pause it. I could zoom in on it. I could say, okay, well, this right here looks like this might be where you're having your problems. Mapping ND is a no-go too. Very good, Tommy G. Very good. Not all ND filters are created equal. Yes, they are. There are different types. There are different stops. You would want to use a less number ND filter, so a lower number ND filter. Basically, the darker it is. So the brighter it is, you want to use a higher number. The darker it is, you want to use a lower number. Don't use car window tint. That's like using popsicles for props. Breaking things is cause ripping. Yes, just spend the $10 on a black diamond, worth it. Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to get into FPV. I know a lot of you guys in here are big into the FPV, and we're going to get into that in just a second. But anyway, let me get back to, okay, so you're zooming in. You don't have the ND filter on. You're checking out your gutters or your roof, and now you're able to actually see and get that image as clear as you possibly can to see what you need to see. Another reason also that you might not want to use them is if you're actually using your video to get still photography out of that video, right? So that's a big advantage of 4K and even the higher resolutions. You're able to have that zooming capability to take pictures, to take still pictures from the video and have it look crystal clear. So if you have the ND filters and you're getting pictures from that video, it's probably going to, like I said, it's going to look a little blurry, right? Because you're using the ND filters. So there is a couple scenarios where you would not want to use ND filters in the GPS drone hobby. But anything you're wanting to do that's cinematic, anything you're wanting to do that involves, maybe filming something, maybe a car driving, maybe yourself, skateboarding down the road, anything like that, and you want that cinematic look, definitely look into getting some ND filters. Polar Pro for me has been a huge company that they make some really high quality ND filters, as well as the materials they use are really high end. They're like the aircraft aluminum, so they don't have the extra weight on the gimbals. Okay, so keep that in mind. Speed or fast turns. Hey, welcome into the room, Forevermore. Welcome, Jaybird Drone. Welcome into the room tonight. Hope you guys are having an awesome weekend. Today we didn't get rain, just some wind, a little bit cooler. Hey, Eric, with a C, what's going on, Snake? Little inside joke there. So, man, I can't believe it's almost 8:30 already. Wow, man, this time is flying by, guys. Now, let me go ahead and talk about the FPV drones, okay? Because here recently, for the longest time, I have not been using ND filters with my GoPros for my FPV, right? You've been here, just wasn't talking. That's all good, man. We'll give you another clap, man, for saying something. Yeah, I appreciate when you guys come in. I appreciate you watching. And if you can say something, that's awesome. So I know you're here and greatly appreciate it. So for the longest time, guys, I did not use ND filters with my GoPros. I just basically ran them in auto settings, and it was good enough for a little while. But then I decided, you know what? Because I'm still using these smaller cameras, they don't have the, what you want to call it, the cinematic look without the ND filters, right? So then I decided, okay, let's go ahead and actually try ND filters for my GoPros. And I got to tell you, I'm really satisfied with the results. The motion blur is a huge advantage with the GoPro footage. And not only that, but I'm going to get into something even more, I think, with the, hey, welcome into the room, Chris, MD95TSI. I shouted you out earlier, brother, as well as the Drone Network and Crystal. And yes, we're going to make sure you check those guys out on the Drone Network on Fridays. So I finally broke down and did the ND filters for the GoPro Session 5. Yes, I'm still flying the Session 5s. I will continue to keep flying the Session 5s until GoPro Plus removes them from their warranty program, which hopefully will not be for a long time. Because once they do, yeah, we're going to be flying around the giant refrigerators that I really don't like to fly, but they are good cameras, GoPro 8s and 9s and all that good stuff. So, but anyway, for now, I'm still flying the Sessions. GoPro is still covering these under the warranty program. So I thought, okay, let's go ahead and try the ND filters. So first of all, I tried the Camera Butter brand. I tried the ones where they stick on the front of the GoPro. They're okay, but they are extremely fragile. I found out just how fragile they are when I would hit things head on. That was the first thing to break. And it was pretty much instant. I mean, anything I would hit, they just broke like that. So I decided that they just weren't going to be good for me. And they get expensive when you start breaking them over and over again. So some of my good buddies over on the FPV NoobTube had recommended me trying out the Black Diamond. I think it was Chuck was one of the ones. I can't remember if Josh and maybe somebody else. But I like to give credit where credit's due. And a couple of the guys over on the NoobTube said, hey, why don't you try those Black Diamond ND filters from Camera Butter? They're a lot thicker. They're a lot more durable. So I was like, oh, yeah, man, definitely. Let me try them out, you know. ND filters work great, even on a budget. HD cameras using, yes, Mystery is using it on his RunCam 5, and he's very satisfied with how the footage is looking. So if you have a RunCam 5 and you're interested about how he has his settings set up, make sure you just reach out to him, Mystery D, and shoot him a message. I'm sure he'll be glad to help you out on that. But somebody having a little potty break there. Hearing a lot of farts and stuff going on there. So basically, I tried out the Black Diamonds. Very satisfied with them, except I started running into a problem. I had the traditional Session mounts from Brain 3D, and what I would do is I would slide the piece of glass in between the mount and the camera. The constant sliding in and out started to actually scratch away the tint on the glass. So I thought, oh, that's not going to work. These things are $10 a piece because they are thicker, right? So I thought, okay, this isn't going to work. I've got to figure something else out. Luckily, Brain 3D for my reverbs and the Alien, I believe, and probably more, have these mounts out that actually you can slide the GoPro in and out, and the ND filter stays locked right in, and it doesn't even scratch the glass. So I'll show you right here. I'm going to pop this out. I'm popping it out here. Now this, and look, the ND filter stays right in there. You see that? It actually cradles it, and it sticks it right in there around the TPU, and it holds it into place. Isn't that cool? So these mounts are really, really like, man, these things are like a godsend. And it's the way they click in, they just click in so, I mean, just so securely. So they really do fit in there quite nicely. So then all you got to do basically is what I do is I just take like a shirt or a rag, and I'll just kind of wipe off the inside of the glass. I'll take my GoPro here and I will push it right on into place here. It's made to fit right on in the mount with the glass. Boom, it slides into place. And then I can just wipe off the front of the glass, and boom, I'm ready to go. I would recommend, this is from the FPV Noob Tube, I would recommend the ND32s. I did try the ND16s because, I got my brain. Did you? Not happy though. I thought, oh, they were flimsy. Yeah, I noticed mine are real soft too, I wonder, Chris, if it's because I actually wonder if Brain 3D changed something in the material or something in the print, because people were complaining that the 8 mounts were so hard to get the cameras in and out. So I wonder if they changed something to make it a little bit more flexible. That's crazy, man. So these are the Black Diamond, the ND32s. You can see right there, I don't know if you can see it, but how thick the glass is here. You know what? Let me pop it out. I want to show you just how thick the glass is on these, because not only do they, they give you the motion blur, but these things actually give you another level of protection. And you can see, I'm sorry for those smears. I got smears all over it. But the good thing is you can just kind of wipe them off and they come clean just with your shirt or whatever. Not everybody has like rags and stuff, like specialty rags to keep them wiped down. So I just use my shirt. But you can see just how thick. I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but you can see how thick that is. These ND filters are really thick. These are the Black Diamonds. These are the ND32s. And they actually give you a little bit more protection from actually cracking the glass on the GoPro as well. So if you hit a lot of things, these are going to break first, which it sucks because they're $10 a piece. But when these break, it's like, okay, this is easy to just buy, 4 or 5 of them, just throw them in your bag, versus breaking this, then you have to turn around and order, another glass faceplate for these, and they're getting harder and harder to find. So what I'm actually going to do is what Chuck had recommended. I'm going to actually put the clear screen protector on this and use this in the mount, so it will have double protection from cracking the glass on this. So this is the ND32. I did try the ND16 from Camera Butter, and the sky is just too blown out on most days, so it's just not dark enough. So yeah, I recommend, like Chuck said, the ND32s. They have been working out really, really great. Very happy with the GoPro footage when using these. Very, very happy. And I tell you what, they do take a couple hits before they do break. So I'm glad that the glass they use on these is thicker. Definitely makes a big of a difference. But yeah, these Brain 3D mounts for these sessions with the little slot for the ND filter, man, look how nice that fits in there. It's very satisfying too when you click it in there and you feel it like click into place and it wraps around the glass. You just have to experience it yourself, but it's very satisfying. Black Diamonds are 2mm thick. Yeah, they're thick. My mounts are tough to get in and out, but yeah. Now these cameras, they're a little bit tough to get in with the glass, but that's a good thing, because if it's hard to push it in, it's going to be even harder for it to come out. So it fits into place. You can see there's the glass in the front of the mount there, but it actually doesn't scratch the tint off when you pull the camera in and out. So definitely recommend these mounts. Make my name Blue Eric, or else. Well, I can't even do it from the screen. I have to do something else. ND filter, whatever that means. I'm going to ban D. Yeah. So highly recommend them, guys. If you're running the sessions, or even if you're running the GoPro 8s or 9s, I'm pretty sure you can still use the Black Diamonds. They're like a universal. They will fit the Brain 3D mounts as well as, I believe, the TBS mounts. And I'll show you here. I'll show you what just came in the mail, what Chris was just talking about. These are the GoPro 9 mounts. Not sure I'm going to be getting a 9 for the holidays, but I did ask for one, so we'll see how that goes. But this is the GoPro 9 mount, and as you can see, it has a little slot right in the front. Okay, and I will show you that the Black Diamonds fit right on in there. Let me pop this back out, and I'll show you that the Black Diamonds will fit the GoPro 9 mounts as well. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this in. Now you just slide that in there. Boom. I mean, that was that easy, guys. Just slides it right in. So this is great for me because now I can use the Black Diamonds for my sessions and for my GoPro 8 and 9. So Chris said, E-Drone's getting a 9. I talked to Santa. I've been a good boy this year, man. I really have tried. Even though some may say I've really not been. Hey, Mike Brooks, welcome into the room. Good to have you, brother. Been a long time, man. Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah. Anybody else I missed? Welcome into the room. We'll give you a clap there. But yeah, guys, you see the Black Diamonds. They fit the 9 mounts, they fit the 8 mounts, and they fit the session mounts. So that way you don't have to buy like 3 different kinds of ND filters, right? So like me, like right now, my primary camera for FPV is still the Session 5. So I'm using the Black Diamonds. But when GoPro Plus drops them from the warranty and I switch over to the GoPro 8 or the GoPro 9, I'll be ready to go, man. I already have the Black Diamonds and they fit in the mounts perfectly. And actually, check this out. This is the GoPro 9 mount, but this is the, whoa, look at that. Man, that happened about the second flight after I got it. Oh, look at that. Hey, it happens, right? That happens. Stuff breaks. But it still works fine. And matter of fact, I put some tape over it. The touchscreen still works. Imagine that. But yeah, this is my GoPro Hero 8 Black. I got it last year. I've flown it, a handful of times, not much. But check this out. It will actually fit in this mount. It's a little loose because it's obviously smaller than the 9. But I'm pretty sure if you were to, put like a strap around it, like around the whole thing, maybe like go underneath of this and come around and strap it, maybe even like zip ties or something, it would stay in there, and maybe just put something in there to kind of make it a little bit tighter in the case. But it actually will fit in there. The GoPro Hero 8 Black will fit in the 9 mount. Thought that was kind of cool. But yeah. So that's that. That is pretty much all I have on the ND filters, unless you guys want to add something. What I want to get talking about now is these awesome Black Friday sales, man. Man, there has been some really nice Black Friday sales. We're just going to call it new drone products. That's what we're going to talk about. Black Friday. Oh, yeah, by the way, I almost forgot. One of the biggest reasons that you should use ND filters for FPV, this is a big one, guys. Not only do you get the motion blur, but to me, even more important than that, the elimination of the jello. Yes, the elimination of jello. I have noticed ever since I've been using these ND filters, no jello in my footage. I wasn't getting a ton of jello before, but I would notice on really bright days when the sun was really out beaming, I would sometimes get jello in my footage. Even if the props are scuffed up, banged up, bent up, no jello in my footage, guys. So I'm telling you right now, if you have lower quality mounts that you're getting vibrations to your cameras, try ND filters. They will definitely help out with jello in your footage. Promise. Definitely worth the investment. Black Diamond, Camera Butters, ND32s. Now, let me go into the settings, okay? Because if you want the optimum, the best case scenario motion blur, and the day is going to be, if you're going to be flying in a where the lighting is going to be the same the whole entire duration of the flight for FPV, because with FPV we're in and out, right? We're in the shade, we're in the sun, we're in the shade, we're in the sun. If you want to do the double the frame rate rule and put the GoPro, your GoPro on double the frame rate. So if you're doing 2.7K 30, go ahead and set the shutter speed to 1/60. That's fine. You'll get the optimal motion blur. However, I know it is thin, Chris. Yeah, it is thin, brother. I noticed that it does. You know what? I have to show you my 8 mount. I have it in here somewhere. I want to show you the difference. How much thicker this is my 8 mount. Okay, this is my 8 mount, and it just feels a lot more rigid than this 9 mount does. So see how easy that's moving. But look at this one. It's hard to see it on camera, but the 8 mount just feels a little bit more robust than my 9 mount does. So like I said, I don't know if people were complaining, because when you put the GoPro Hero 8 Black in this mount from Brain, man, it is in there. It is in there good. Like, it is very hard to get it out. It's in there very, very, very secure. Almost a little too secure for me. I feel like I'm going to break the camera trying to get it back out of this. Anyway, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to stay on topic, but sometimes I just get things going in my brain. But anyway, FPV, highly recommend the ND filters. The settings. Okay, so yes, you can do the double the frame rate on the GoPros. No problem with that. But what I've found for me, that for my footage, for what works best for me, honestly, and this is special thanks to Josh Withrow for this tip. I want to make sure I give him credit because he's the one that told me about it. Go ahead, and if you just want the best case scenario, so you don't have an image that's too dark in the shadows when you go flying in the shade. All right, Mike. Hey, thanks for stopping in, man. I really appreciate it. Good to see you, brother. If you want the best optimum settings, I think, honestly, to be able to fly in and out of the shades and go from light to dark transitions very often, as we do in FPV, just set your shutter speed to auto. Now, I know you're probably thinking, why would you do that? Like, you put an ND filter on it, right? Why would you, Josh Withrow on that one? Yeah, I got to give him credit on that, man, because I do like that versatility. I do like to put the GoPro shutter on auto. Now, what that does is, yes, you don't have the optimal amount of motion blur, like the best, but you still get enough to where I think it still looks cinematic enough. And when you go from the light to the dark transitions, you don't really have to mess with it too much in post. The shutter will kind of allow for it. I know, Chuck. I know there's some people that they're not going to go for that. And I get that. I completely understand that. And if you're looking for the best possible settings for your GoPro to use the ultimate motion blur and have the most amount of, what's the word I'm looking for? If you want the most amount of control over your exposure and your shutter speed, then go ahead and just do the double the frame rate rule. And then in post, you can try to correct the light and the dark transitions. But for me, for what I use the GoPro footage for, setting it to auto is more than suffice. I really do like it. There's been times where if I did not have that shutter set to auto, I would have to, because it got later in the day, the sun started going down, I would have to have multiple ND filters. So I have to swap out from ND32 to ND16. Same thing when it got, just having to swap out the ND filters when the daylight gets, darker, and then having to adjust it in post when I fly underneath a shade tree. It may look a little too dark. But then when I get back out in the sun, it looks fine, But when you have that locked in, when you have that shutter locked in, just keep in mind that if you're not flying in an environment where the lighting is the same the entire duration of the flight, you're gonna have to adjust that somewhere in post because your darks are gonna look they're gonna look too dark. So yeah, I just use the auto settings with the ND filters. That still lowers your shutter speed, okay? Because you are putting the sunglasses, you are darkening, so the shutter is having to open up more. So it's actually even though the shutter is opening up, it's actually lowering the shutter speed. So just keep that in mind. Auto settings with the GoPro. If you're just looking for the best versatility, I don't want to call it the lazy way, but yeah, the easiest way to not have to keep swapping out different filters for daylight conditions, as well as, having to mess with it in post. I highly recommend. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate that. He knew exactly I would be the one that would be like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Auto settings. I don't have to change anything. I don't have to mess with it in post. I don't have to, swap out ND filters on the fly. So appreciate that, brother. So yeah. All right. That is the last. I'm talking about the ND filters now, unless you guys want to bring up something else. But good conversation. I knew it was going to be, a lot to cover because I could just go on and on and on about ND filters. I mean, there's just a lot to them, right? There's different brands, there's different companies, different scenarios, different environments. But yeah, I really highly do recommend using them. And now that I've been using them with FPV, I'm not going to stop. So I'm going to have ND filters for all my FPV quads moving forward. So I'm going to let's talk about some, I got the new drone products on here. Let's talk about some FPV deals. Did you guys find any great deals? Last week was the Thanksgiving. We had the Black Friday. We had the Cyber Monday. I found these shirts right here on FPV Crate for $10. Originally, these were $20. This is like the new, I guess, TBS shirt. And man, I really do dig the green, and I just like the look of it and all the logos and everything. $10, man. I just jumped right on it. Hey, Michael McReynolds, thanks for stopping in, brother. Appreciate your support. If you guys could smash the like button, that would really, really be awesome. I got that shirt, and I got another shirt here. This one's not, to me, as cool. It's not as hardcore as the TBS. But this one here, I kind of did like it. I'll put it on camera here. It says Freedom of Flight, and it's got like a FPV drone on here flying. Kind of like a cinematic look to it. It's kind of flying over this little, I don't know, river basin. It's got some mountains here, and then there's like some other little drone, weird looking, I don't know what they are. It almost look like little fighter jet things following it, but it says the Freedom of Flight. This was also FPV Crate for $10, originally like $20. So I hopped on that deal. I thought, you know what, if I can get some swag for half price, I'm gonna do it. All right. So that's what I did. Sorry about this lighting here. That's probably blinding you. Let's see. But yeah, I went ahead and got some swag. I also got a good deal on FPV Crate. Let me pull them out here. I got 10 sets of the Ethics peanut butter jelly props, the P3s, for $20. So basically $2 a set. It was a really good deal, FPV Crate, so I went ahead and hopped on those. If you guys got any deals, yeah, Tommy G found a nice FPV starter set for a Whoop. Awesome, man. That's great. I mean, this year I was in a better state financially to actually, take advantage of these sales and get in on some of these good deals because, I think this is a good time of year if you can stock up on the FPV products. You know what I mean? Go ahead and stock up and get you some sales and get some swag. Speaking of swag, where's my swag at, Eric? Come on now, brother. I'm waiting on my swag. I know, man. I've been waiting. I've been like, man, I really want this RC Crazy swag. I can't wait to, wear the swag on the show. You know what I mean? Show everybody. So let me get into the PB&J props real quick. I have not flown them hardly at all. I flew them for about a half a pack just to check out, double check and test Chuck Veed's setup, and they felt really good. I mean, they definitely felt good to me. They are a little bit more of a pitch than my S3s, the watermelons that I typically fly. So I decided, you know what? Let me go ahead and get this deal, because once I switched to flying around the GoPro 9 or my 8 Black, it's going to be a heavier camera. So I'm going to want a little bit more bite on my props to hopefully kind of make up for that additional weight a little bit. So I thought, you know what? Let me go ahead and try these PB&Js and give them a run. The blades themselves, I think, are not quite as wide as the S3s because they've elongated them. So they're 5.1 long. But yeah, I figured, you know what, if they're going to be a little bit more pitch on these, maybe that will help out with flying around the heavier cameras. So I went ahead and picked up, 10 sets of these for $20 on FPV Crate. I didn't even know that FPV Crate had its own like separate website where you can go ahead and buy stuff. That you do have to pay shipping, but because of the prices that I got, I was okay with it. I got the props for a good deal. I got the shirts for half price. So I'm like, heck, I'll pay the $7 for shipping. My slap showed right after I seen you. Oh, that's cool, brother. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you got your straps. Absolutely, man. Bubble Bum K2. Okay. Is that like a prop that you got some deals on there, Ray? I know that they have some deals on the fold props some people have been talking about. Bubble gum. Yeah, man. Put it in the chat, man. If you guys got any good deals for Black Friday, man, I'd be glad to hear about that. That was a good deal there. Brain. Speaking of Brain 3D had for the Black Friday Cyber Monday, they had 10% off site wide on anything that was in stock. So I went ahead and stocked up on the GoPro 9 mounts, as well as some reverb parts for my spares. And I got 10% off. So that was really cool. I don't think I've ever gotten any discounts from Brain 3D before. So I thought, well, 10% off. Now's the time. Go ahead and stock up, right? The Brain 3D, 10% off. Impulse RC also had, I want to say, 20% off, if I'm correct, 20% off. However, you do have to pay for shipping. So I ended up getting a reverb. I got a reverb kit frame from Race Day Quads instead, because I went ahead and spent the $50. So I got the free shipping, and they were doing 10% off site wide when I got it. So I basically got a whole nother reverb. I got the arms too. I got the whole reverb frame extra kit, because I'm going to need extra parts when I start crashing these guys. I'm going to start breaking stuff. So it's good to have extra spares on hand. That's another good thing about, the consistency of flying the same frames. All my frames are the same except for my Alien. That's the only different frame I have, but I have 3 reverbs now. So having the extra kit is awesome, because you have extra parts when you crash, right? So yeah, I was able to get this for 10% off plus free shipping. So I got the whole reverb frame extra with the arms for, I think it was around, I want to say like $58, something like that, $60, which is really good, because as you all know, the Impulse RC reverb frame, like the whole complete frame, arms and all, the regular price is almost, I think, like $90. So that was a good deal. I was happy to get that. Here was another big one for FPV Crate. Now we're not talking about props now. We're just talking about Black Friday deals, brother. Anything you got, Black Friday, yes, let's talk about it, man. I want to put it out there, because people might not know that these sales are going on, and this is the time of year to be, scooping this stuff up. I got these Lumineer Axie, not the doubles, but I got these Lumineer Axie 2s for $10 on FPV Crate. These are normally $20, and they're never on sale. So, man, I had to go ahead and grab 2 of these, because I go through I go through these FPV antennas like crazy, man. You know, when you start bashing stuff around, they get beaten up pretty hard. They tend to be the one thing that constantly gets bashed on the quad, you know. But these work really well. So I'm a big fan of the Lumineer Axes. And like we talked about in my other live stream, you know, I like the smaller design of the case up top here. It's a little bit less surface area to get beaten and banged around off the back of your quad versus like the Triumph. Not saying that I don't like the Triumph. The Triumph is a good design. It's a good antenna, but I mean, it's just basic science, right? There's more surface area, which means there's more of a chance of this thing hitting other things and taking more abuse. So lessen the surface area. I feel like you can increase the durability a little bit with your antennas. Hey, welcome into the room, Brad Alston. Hope I didn't butcher your name. So yeah, Lumineer Axes, $10 on FPV Crate. Trying to think of anything else that I got like really good deals on for Black Friday, because there was a lot of deals out there. Some of them I couldn't even, you know, it wasn't that they weren't a good deal, but it just not for me. Like I just didn't need the stuff, you know. I know they had the Mavic Mini, the original, for $349, I believe. So that's a really good price. I thought for sure Withrow was going to jump all over that, man. But, you know, we all got our priorities, right? We got family, we got, you know, we got kids to feed, we got bills to pay. And, you know, I get it. But man, $349 for that, I thought that was a steal. You beat them Triumphs like redheaded stepchild. Yeah, they do, man. They do take an abuse. Just like these Strix, right? These Strix take a pretty good abuse too. This one's been kind of beaten and banged up. But after a while though, man, the case ends up just cracking, you know, and they just come off. And then, you know, once they come off, I mean, you could glue them back on, but most people just, you know, they just throw them out and get new ones. But yeah, I don't know. I've had better luck myself with the Lumineer Axie design. They just seem to last a little bit longer for me. I guess, like I said, it's less surface area to be beating and banging around, and the performance has been great. I've had great, you know, video quality using them. And you decide to change up the green back here, you know, to go along with the shirt. I know typically I love my blue, man, my E-Drone blue, but I thought with the shirt, man, we'd welcome in some different colors tonight, some green. Absolutely. Yeah, if you guys have any other deals, man, feel free to put them in the chat. I encourage it, man, because, you know, these deals, there's been some really good deals this year that I've seen and heard about. So make sure you check those out. We're going to get ready to talk about some drone headlining news. It's coming up. And just a second here, there's been actually a couple really crazy stories that are coming up on the news. So we're going to go ahead and get into the news. All right, in drone headlines, we're going to be talking about, this is from the Wall Street Journal, by the way, drones are poised to reshape home design. What? Am I hearing this correctly? What? Oh, shoot, the heat kicked on. Hold on one second. I don't want that to be blaring you out. Man, it hasn't kicked on this whole live stream, and then I go ahead and get in the news, and it's going to go ahead and kick on. We ain't made of money, so grab a deal when you can. Absolutely, man. Hey, if you can get a deal, why not, right? Yeah, I mean, most of them are over, but I'm talking about if you know the deals for this year, you might be able to hop on some of these websites next year, and you might be able to, you know, get some deals next year from these companies. Anyway, this is from the Wall Street Journal. Drones are poised to reshape home design, landing pads, special mailboxes, and more. A future where delivery drones buzz through neighborhoods could prompt architects and builders to rethink. Wow. Can you imagine someone designing your house and they're putting a landing pad? Hold on, let me turn the brightness down so you can see this. But they're gonna build a landing pad in your house for a drone delivery. Seriously, Like we're getting into that day. I mean, welcome to the Jetsons, right? Welcome to the Jetsons. That wasn't the right one. I didn't wait. That's the one I was really wanting to hit. So ignore the womp womp womp. I was talking about welcome to the Jetsons, right? But I mean, I don't know. Would that not make you a little bit nervous to have a delivery drone like buzzing, like landing on a part of your house? I mean, what if they were off and they smashed through your window or something? I mean, come on now. It makes me a little nervous. But yeah, guys are talking about it. Like I said, this is from the Wall Street Journal. With a few taps on your phone, you can order a hamburger. You can order some food. A retractable door on your roof will open up, allowing a drone to land on your rooftop with a landing pad and a delivery receptacle. Hey, man, Night Chris, thanks for stopping by, brother. I'm glad you made it in tonight. Thank you so much. Make sure you check out the Drone Network every Friday, just about at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. I hope I said that right. Yeah, thanks for stopping in, brother. I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, okay, so you're going to have this retractable door open up on your roof. This delivery drone is going to come in. It's going to land, and you're going to get a little notification on your phone. It's going to go, ding, your food's here, or ding, you have a package that arrived. I think that's pretty crazy, man. I mean, you're talking about, like, it just seems like the Jetsons are just becoming closer and closer to becoming reality. So yeah, a future where, drones buzz through the neighborhood to drop off and pick up groceries, food orders, packages. Architects and builders might have to rethink home design to accommodate the remote delivery with drone landing pads, mounted on curbside, special mailboxes, receptacles for these drones that are perched on the windowsills. So we could actually see the home designs being reshaped to aid in drone delivery services. So it's coming, guys. There's nothing we're going to be able to do about it. It's coming. What I want to do is just, if it's going to come and they're going to be delivering, that's fine. But let's be able to share the airspace. You're not going to be able to take the hobbyists out of the air and just say, okay, you guys can't fly anymore because we got drone deliveries. You know what I mean? Come on, man. We got to work together. We got to share the airspace. So hopefully we're going to see some not as ridiculous laws as what they were talking about doing when they first rolled out the remote ID. I really do hope that we can share the airspace responsibly, safely, without taking all the hobbyists out of the air and saying, okay, well, you guys can't fly, here anymore because we got too much deliveries going through. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I'm all for the drone delivery. And you know what? The drone delivery is probably going to be more of a push now more than ever with COVID. It's a better, no contact delivery system. However, it is taking some jobs away from delivery drivers. So keep that in mind as well. I don't think that we're going to have all the delivery drivers, at the remote controllers flying these things. So keep that in mind. But it's going to be a toss-up because it's going to also create some jobs, right? It's going to create some piloting jobs for people to pilot these things. I mean, think about all the pilots that are going to be needed now to fly all these delivery drones. I mean, that's something to think about as well. Yeah. Have a nice McDay with your McDelivery. But yeah, kind of cool to think about though. Like, it's actually becoming more of a talked about thing in the media. It's being talked about now in home architectural design. Okay, so Amazon is testing technology to deliver packages weighing up to 5 pounds in 30 minutes or less. So yeah, I mean, none of the major players have figured out a seamless way for consumers to receive their deliveries at home. Cargo landing in backyards and driveways raises safety questions regarding both the people and the packages. So that's going to be a thing, right? I mean, where's the drone going to land? If like we have Amazon right down the road, so if I order something that's lightweight, 5 pounds, something like that, the drone comes and delivers the package. Well, where's that drone going to land to give me my package? You know, we got trees and stuff by the front door, like ghost branches. That thing's not going to want to get close to the trees because it's going to end up crashing in the house. So, yeah, I think if they're going to have a way, they're going to have to be able to figure out a preset or predetermined landing site for these drones to deliver, right? I mean, you know, you're talking about propeller spinning, you're talking about something flying into your front yard, dropping off a package. Last thing you want is, you know, somebody get too close to it, you know, and get tangled up with it or get hit by it or hit your car or scratch your car. I mean, these are all valid concerns, right, about the whole drone delivery thing. Yeah, and I get that, Chuck. I get that they're talking about just having them drop it, but what about the packages that are fragile, you know, that can't be dropped? That's why they're talking about these receptacles. Remember when the Skydio 2 first came out and they talked about having that little mailbox looking receptacle that the drone could fly inside of and charge itself up, and then you could fly it back out of the receptacle? I think that's kind of where they're leaning. So a separate type mailbox to attach to your house where you can have a drone like fly in and drop the package off either in the box or, you know, somewhere on a landing site on your roof. But I mean, you would have to have access to your roof to get the package, right? So it's going to have to be someplace where you're going to be able to get the package. It's not going to get damaged. I don't know. There just seems to be a lot of things to think about when we talk about drone delivery in the U.S. I mean, it just seems like there's a lot of hurdles. There's going to be a lot of red tape. There's going to be a lot of things they're going to have to get ironed out before this can actually become a reality. So, but just want to let you know that they are talking about it. They're talking about how to, you know, design homes to have these specialty landing pads and possibly even like a retractable door that opens up to your, you know, back deck or whatever. Crazy, man. Crazy. Yeah. How many drones will go missing? Exactly. Drone egg drop. Love it, man. Love it. Love you guys, man. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Man, I can't believe it's been an hour already. I mean, this night has flown by. But I really do appreciate you guys coming in. And if you're catching this after the fact, you know, please just consider subscribing, smashing that like button. Trying to do more content as I can. Trying to keep up, you know, do some drone reviews. I do have some exciting new products coming this month, I believe, from our good buddy John from VFly. He's got some new products that he wants to send me to review, and I think you guys are really going to be interested in what they've got to offer. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel for that. I'll be having those videos come out as soon as I get the products and get them in for review and test them out and all that good stuff. And also this month we're going to be doing a giveaway. That's right. On the Send It Saturday live stream, we do one giveaway a month, and we do it right here live on the stream. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And all the rules and will be in the description of that video when we do the giveaway. And we'll just do it completely by random. We'll do a random comment picker, and we'll select us a lucky winner. But the first winner received his package. I'm pretty sure he was very happy. He won some Emax Eco motors and a Lost Model buzzer. So, yeah, definitely, man. Make sure you stay tuned to the channel. I'm all about giving back. I'm all about, you know, whatever revenue stream comes into the channel, I want to give it right back out to the community by doing these giveaways and giving back to you guys, because that's what I like to do. I just like to give back. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you guys next Saturday on Send It Saturday, episode 5. Oh, yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yep. Well, I actually just started doing the streams, so it's all good, Brad. Yes, thank you everybody for coming in. Greatly appreciate it. You guys have yourself an awesome night, and we will see you next week.